Hey guys, my gamer tag is Luxus, but feel free to call me Lux for short. Today I'll be bringing a very exciting review of Heaven Burns Red, a new Japanese anime mobile title developed by Wright Studios and Key that only released a few days earlier this week. It has been hyped by various previous videos exposing its stunning art style and aesthetically action-packed gameplay posted a few years back. After constant delays and a long-awaited production time, it finally released on the 10th of February 2022. Although the constant delays led to some disappointment or distraught, I can now confidently say that it was not all in vain and definitely worth the wait. Being a huge sucker for gacha mobile titles with beautiful female character designs, or so they call it, the legendary waifus, this game certainly does not disappoint, with each character expressed in unique characteristics and an almost perfect light novel art style. Its variety of characters to pull, including the more common subcategories of tsunderes and lollies, this has definitely got to be one of its greatest selling points and something that brings it into the spotlight. But what sets this game apart from other turn-based RPGs and makes it so highly anticipated is not just this. It's the amount of attention to detail paid to crafting the perfect storyline, character depth that lets us witness character development and watch the story unfold as if it were an anime series. The storytelling aspect is of course to be expected, coming from writer Jun Maeda, who has written some all-time favourites and masterpieces known amongst anime fans, such as Angel Beats, Clannad, Charlotte, and many more. The main story of the gameplay takes you into a world of fighters who wield weapons called seraphs, in order to save humanity from strange deformed enemies called cancer. You progress through the lives of these characters day by day and get to experience their time in a real-life scenario, including their day-to-day activities. This includes lunchtime and even a session of free time where you can freely choose to interact with your characters and the team. Alternatively, you can also train in the arena to gather more resources used to strengthen your team members. I find this very unique for a mobile game, as this kind of gameplay is more commonly seen amongst RPGs on other platforms, such as the very well-known Persona series. To really bring the story to life, the game has voice acting for all of its characters and cutscenes, at least up until the point that I've played till now, which is past the prologue and towards the end of day 4. There hasn't been a single moment where there was just dialogue to read without the voices playing in the background. I haven't seen any mobile gacha game to date go to this much effort and detail up until now.
あいつら同期みたいだな。
戦ってた子たちだにゃ。なんか視線を感じない？
新人が気になるんだろう。
If you're a player who appreciates good storytelling and am genuinely interested in the background story of each and every character, then this title is, I dare say, catered completely for gamers like you. Unfortunately though, if you are someone who is not entirely familiar with or across the Japanese language, it may be a little difficult for you to immerse yourself into this story, as this is the Japanese server which does not come with subtitles. Having said this, I myself am no Japanese expert, being of a Hong Kong background and therefore more familiar with kanji has definitely helped, and having self-studied some basics to intermediate skills in the past, I am able to understand up to maybe 70% of the dialogue when the lingo is a little less complex, but sometimes only 30 to 40% on a bad day. Despite this, I am still able to really enjoy this game without being affected too much. However, I would really love to enjoy a fully translated title and a global server if one is ever available in the near future. To me, what makes a good game is how everything is molded together. To use the word molded is a bit strange, but that is exactly how a game should feel like. A masterpiece with the art style, graphics, battle style, sounds, and even the menu and fonts used to work together to make an amazing interface and world. To explain what I mean, this game was made to be played with its sound on. It almost makes it seem like a sin to have this game on mute when you're playing it. Heaven Burns Red has been heavily promoted with its highly regarded soundtrack in preview videos, including its main opening track, Before I Rise. The first time I heard it, it almost gave me goosebumps because it was so befitting. The interface of this mobile game is designed with a hint of modernized magical girl theme, but before this shuts you off, it does it in a very futuristic and visually pleasing way. Just because it's magical girl doesn't mean it has to be pink and fluffy. A very smart way of incorporating the main menu was bringing it up in a mobile phone interface like the main character was looking at her own phone. She even reaches for her phone every time you try to bring it up. The battle gameplay style is very similar to many turn-based RPGs, though specific differences include enemies that are protected by a DP shield, which you have to break, or more commonly known as knocking them down by constantly attacking before being able to reduce its actual health. You have categories of team members that serve different purposes: an attacker that mainly deals damage, buffers that affect or boost stats of the team, debuffers that affect stats of the enemy, breakers that have skills made for breaking the DP shield, blasters who deal immense amounts of damage after the enemy enters break status, defenders that, I think, act as a tank and are more impenetrable to enemy attacks, and the healer that heals your DP so you don't break. An interesting aspect of this system is the DP acts similar to a health bar, in that once your DP reaches 0, your health can no longer be recovered, but you can still attack after having your DP broken, at the risk of course, having that team member killed. The team normally consists of 6 members, 3 in the front line and 3 in the back line. All members are freely interchangeable into the back line or front line each turn. All team members can be enhanced through several ways, including limit breaking, skill leveling, and character equipment. The playstyle itself does really inspire strategy and thought and the order in which you attack enemies and use your skills, but let's not forget how visually appealing the battle style looks in action, which was probably what piqued a lot of the interest in this game to begin with. Having said this, a downside I have noticed with the gameplay is the smoothness of animation when the enemy breaks. When an enemy enters break status, the animation is designed to pause to show you that you have managed to knock it down, but the way that this pauses really interrupts with the flow of the battle, and almost looks like it's lagging, but perhaps this is a tiny design flaw and I'm just being nitty-picky. Now something we've all been waiting for is the gacha and lucky draw concept of this game. Is this game pay to win or money heavy? To be fair, I've only had a rather surface level look into this game with a small handful of gacha pools, so I don't have a legitimate enough sample size to base this on. Initial thoughts on the gacha pool system is that it is not dreadful, not amazing, but given its current first release promotions, it is reasonably generous. After completing your tutorial, you are granted a guaranteed SS character and a first single character scout. I believe you are also given a free 10-time scout ticket. Other promotions include the release promotion for the 31A Squadron, where 1 or more SS characters are guaranteed. However, you need to use paid crystals for this one, and you can only roll this once. Gacha currency is split into paid and non-paid crystals, ones that you acquire through quest rewards in-game, and others which you have purchased. I'm always concerned to how much of an extent this will affect rolling outcomes if I only use unpaid crystals, but it's a gacha game after all, and this system is not uncommon amongst Japanese gacha titles. I'm also willing to spend a little on games that I strongly appreciate. Whilst I've almost poured my heart out to how amazing this game has lived up to its expectations, there are its downsides. One that I've noticed is that you are not asked to enter a profile ID or name. There doesn't seem to be a profile card to personalize, and you are unable to bind your account to a third-party account, such as Twitter, Google, or other socials. And the only way to not lose your data is via the data transfer setting that allows you to enter a code and password to transfer your data to another device. This is quite unsettling and insecure to me, and hopefully can be something implemented at a later time. All in all, to rate this game so far, it has really met and even somewhat surpassed my expectations. Sitting at around a high 8 to 8.5 out of 10, I'm looking forward to playing through the storyline and seeing what events and updates they have in store for us. If this sounds like your kind of thing, hop on its free-to-play platform and try it out. And also, if you did enjoy this review, please like this video and subscribe to my channel to see similar videos like this. Thank you for watching, peace out.